Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Hi.
How are you?
Oh,
Doing
it's
great?
been a while. I'm doing great, but it's been a while since we've talked.
It has been a while since we've talked, and a lot has transpired in this here
Yes.
country we live in, society that we're a part of, and I'm excited to get into it today.
Me too.
You know,
I'm excited to talk to you about it.
but let's first start with how are you doing? Besides the fact that democracy is falling, that little thing. How's your week been?
I cannot lie to you and say that I haven't doom scrolled for many nights now,
Fair, fair.
for many hours, but all is well.
Yeah,
The day to day,
nice.
just more dissociation, I guess.
Yeah,
But
right.
no, how about you?
I'm good. Been busy this week. Just very,
Yeah.
very busy. Lots of different endeavors that I'm doing these days. So my weekdays have just been kind of crazy, but looking forward to a pretty chill, fun weekend ahead, which is good. I think it's important times of chaos to find things that make you happy, or else you will drown
Yeah.
under the weight of it all.
So what are you doing? The flight?
Yeah, my flight is on Sunday, but tomorrow is it's called 8th Street Festival in DC, and it's like a block party pretty much that goes
Okay.
on near me. So I'm gonna do that. Might go to this it's gonna sound crazy, but it's like a golf club social, but it's like young black professionals go to like this. It's actually the first black golf course in the country, I want to say.
Oh, like ever made?
Yes. It's
Okay.
called Langston
Cool.
Golf Course. It's right in Northeast DC. I'm
That's
gonna
very
fact
cool.
check myself on that, but I'm pretty sure that is what it is. But anyway, so I might do that. But just gonna do some remodeling in the apartment. Got a new bed frame. Got a new dresser. Got a new rug. Lots of.
Did you get a new bed or situation in the guest room
No, we did not.
for me when I go
Not
over?
yet. Working on it. But anyway, I think that's what I have going on. And I was actually just talking to my therapist the other day about how I truly believe that joy is an act of resistance. So
Yeah.
throughout what's been going on, especially in DC, I think it's important to find joy because one person can't change a lot. All we can do is, change within our circle and our network and stuff. So I'm working on that. But anyway,
Absolutely.
that's what's going on with me. So I'd love to get right into it. I'd love to get into some of our thoughts, some of our feelings about things that have been going on in this day and age. It's crazy. I think we say this every episode, but I'm like, who knows what can happen in a week?
Oh, yeah.
The amount of changes that happen. But the
Absolutely.
thing that I would be remiss to not talk about is the very prevalent topic right now of free speech. And we are two people who decided to start a podcast and talk about things that are important to us or things that we value because of the First Amendment right to free speech, which is a founding principle, obviously, of this nation. And it's hard right now to not feel like free speech isn't being threatened. So what are your thoughts? How do you feel about this, how free speech is such a topic, which I think is I don't want to say surprising, but it is a little bit surprising because we really usually, pride ourselves as a country on these rights. And
Right.
when it feels like some are being threatened, it's scary.
And I think we would be mistaken to not discuss a recent assassination of a political podcaster.
Yeah.
And in the midst of talking about free speech is a very hot topic right now. This is my whole thing. It doesn't matter to me if you liked said podcaster, if you like him, dislike him.
Can I ask you a question first? What were your initial thoughts when news
Ugh.
dropped? Did you think it was real? Did you see something? How did you find out?
I was terrible. I was babysitting my nieces or my niece, and I can't remember if I saw it on the news or on my phone, but I freaked out because so during the election and that whole time, I was very much on TikTok watching a lot of lives of political commentators, and there's a lot of creators that would go on live and just debate for hours at a
Yes.
time. And there's a lot of liberal creators that I would watch do this, and on the same plane, there's a lot of
Sure.
conservatives that I would watch as well. And so that's probably how I got introduced to said podcaster that tragically killed.
Murdered.
That was tragically murdered.
Yeah.
That's probably how I got introduced along with other creators. Because I know a lot of people didn't actually even know who he was. But I spent actually a lot of time listening to his debates that he'd have
yes.
with I actually
Yeah.
watched them and
Yeah, yeah,
watched so when it happened, I had texted my sister and I'm like, yo, this is crazy. This is significant, even though he really wasn't a political,
An elected official. Yeah.
an elected official. So that was my initial thoughts. I saw the video and I see a lot of raw stuff and a lot of hard things
Yeah.
in my job.
Right. Right.
Like that hit me to my stomach watching that. Like I was not, I wasn't well watching that. I was really sick to my stomach to see that. And that's a horrible thing that we all had to witness, whoever saw it.
I have
Horrible
personally have not.
Good.
I've only seen like a very far away angle.
Yeah.
I'm not into, I don't even know what it's called, like trauma porn. I don't know. I'm not into like that stuff at all. I mean, I don't think anyone is, but like this is the same person who like I've never watched the full video of George Floyd being murdered either, because like I just can't stomach those kinds of things.
Yeah. It's hard. Nobody deserves death. Nobody deserves to determine how somebody dies. And it sickens me to see this conflict that we're having online about, people celebrating, quote unquote, celebrating it. Because I have seen it. There are people.
Yes, sure.
I just feel like there's a disconnect between like the general population of like sane people that have humanity and like and like people that don't get it, or people that are disconnected to what is really like going on and like what's important, how significant, and like the seriousness of it. And I just feel like a lot of people on the left are being like grouped like we're all celebrating some type of, and I hate that narrative because it's just like not what it is at all.
Yeah.
And
I
like
mean,
nobody
from jump, it was crazed liberals that first of all did
immediately without a suspect. Like that is the whole hypocrisy of it.
Can
the
I
double
just say,
standard, we will get into it.
Yes. Can I just say one thing? Sorry. And then I want you to continue with your thoughts on it all. I just have to say this. I really feel for my trans girls, gays and theys, and my trans girls and my trans guys and the entire trans community, because like I know that they're probably just sitting back being like, damn, why am I in it? Because like some people just simply want to exist. Trans people just want to exist. That's it. And for them to be used as this like
narrative,
political, like divisive narrative is just, as a marginalized community, is just so unbelievably unfair. And like anyone who like actually knows a trans person, or actually knows about LGBTQ culture, or actually like knows about the beautiful, incredible, talented, just insanely cool culture that trans folks or LGBTQ folks bring to society, if you actually took a second to like think about that and like immerse yourself in that culture even a little bit, you would understand that like it is so based in love and like fun and acceptance and inclusivity. But people are afraid of those things, I guess. But I just want to say it's
obsessed.
Crazy. Yeah.
The most reasonable conclusion is this man that is the suspect is a follower of this man that is a self-proclaimed incel. So someone who is involuntarily celibate.
Correct.
So within this group of people that view women as having an easier way in the world, having it easier. So this is my understanding that we see people, memes. I don't even know how much, like, this is such a part of the internet that many of us, most of us, the majority of us do not even freaking understand, because these kids have like grown up with the internet and then are like completely, that's the only thing that they know. So it's very frustrating when you see like that, people just jumping to conclusions without even knowing who.
Of course.
We have the president of the United States blaming the entire left side of the nation for
entire left side, which is like what?
Proclaiming war.
We all did. Because we all couldn't have shot him. Hello? Sorry. Go ahead.
But it's these people that think that women have it easier. That's my understanding of it. I don't know.
I also want to say, insane. I might take this out, not sure. I don't believe that his roommate is trans. I don't believe the text.
This whole thing, the text, like both the left, everyone is like, these texts are like very sus. Like very sus.
If the texts weren't the feds texting, I don't know
who it was.
Anything. I don't know left from right. I don't know up from down.
I didn't even like like I watched it on the television. I was cleaning the kitchen. I didn't really think anything of it. And like I saw it on the internet and I read the way that it's laid out. I'm like,
Bruh, not confessing to the whole thing.
why is it fitting to the narrative so fucking perfectly? And first of all, have you seen all the stuff with Candace Owens?
Yeah.
Have you been following?
Yeah.
Why am I agreeing with Candace Owens? I'm sorry.
Right.
What are we doing? And Tucker Carlson? Why am I agreeing to these people?
I hate that the dimensions have lined up in the way where I am agreeing with anything Candace Owens or Tucker Carlson say. I just want to say I'm mad. I'm mad that you guys have made me agree with these two individuals.
At the same time, though, like, I think two things. I think it's very interesting, the point that Candace Owens is bringing up, because she's talking about the state of Israel, and she's talking about how her friend that was assassinated was coming more to terms with what's going on in Israel, and he was starting to speak out against, I don't know if you're following it, but he was starting to speak out. Now, she is, right now, like, if you go to her page, she's, like, spilling the tea. The main thing that I'm taking from it is the Israel of it all. Her point is that in the timing up to his death, he was being targeted by these people to push a narrative of Israel first.
Right.
And he was coming to terms and going along the path of that Candace Owens had taken when she was doxxed, I guess, from her conservative cronies, when she started saying, hey, let's take a closer look at Israel and what they're doing. And is this really what we should be supporting? And the government, everywhere, the government, it's becoming, the government and their people are like two different things.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? Like what they stand for?
Totally. Similar to America.
Similar to America.
I think it's a great point.
But that's what she is speaking out against, is that like he, in his final moments of his time here, was being threatened to say certain things about the state of Israel to be aligned with a conservative narrative, aka the administration's narrative. And he was coming to terms with, hey, that might not be the right, that might not be the right thing.
Wrong.
Maybe it's wrong.
Yeah.
And that is where we see like, oh, we're agreeing with Candace Owens now, right? Because she is starting to make a little sense in certain things. It's starting to have like some humanity. I hate
that Candace Owens is making sense.
But my second point is that, hey, it's a good thing.
Yeah, no, of course.
Like, hey, maybe we can find a common ground in things and like fight this together.
Yeah.
I don't know about Candace Owens. It might be a little far gone.
Yeah. But no, I hear you. And I think that what's interesting is a lot of things that if we weren't in the climate that we were in, we would consider to be conspiracy theory are no longer conspiracy theory. It's actually quite real.
That's so interesting because I literally found an Instagram account the other night, and that was one of the things I was doom scrolling all night, was like all of these like conspiracy theories, and I'm like, hey, maybe
they're not conspiracies.
Maybe they're not conspiracies, and I was brought up thinking just certain stuff about like corporations and certain stuff about like what the F is really going on.
No, yeah, it's about the money. At the end of the day, it's about the money. Everything that's driving conflict, that's driving division, that's driving
we're owned by corporations.
Yes. What they want us to think is that it's actually about God or conservatism or about,
a culture war.
A culture, yes. We're losing our culture. That's what they want us to think. Like that's what they want us to fight over, right? They want us to fight over gay marriage. They want us to fight over these social things, these social construct things, right?
But
they
don't
just
look
really
over here.
Hello.
Don't look over here.
Pay attention to what's going on in front of you.
While we consolidate all the wealth.
Yes. While we continue to have the most billionaires ever in one country, and why we continue to line the pockets of the people at the top. And right now, it's just that conservatism. Let me be honest. It's just conservatism is hot out here right now. That's all it is. If being a progressive was hot out here, and like that's what would make people money,
where the money was?
They would do that too. Like
it's like there's no
moral standing. There's no.
We're out here fighting.
Yes.
On the front lines.
Yes.
Ooh,
they're in their penthouse.
Oof, this is not even like we're distracted. This is a distraction right here.
But that's the thing. Speaking of
capitalism, baby.
Hello. And it's interesting because like when we think about the distraction of it all, it's not a coincidence. I no longer believe in coincidence, especially in America, but it's not a coincidence that every time something really important is about to happen, about to be voted on in the news, something that's actually important, some other bullshit comes along. And then the headline is Department of Defense renamed Department of War.
Department of War.
And then we're all talking about that for 3 days.
Yeah.
While they're continuing to vote to take away people's rights in the back.
Continuing to vote to not release the Epstein files.
Correct. Right? So I think at the end of the day, where I think we're getting to, which I think is really positive, some of us, obviously can't speak for everyone, but really getting to the crux of what is actually going on and what is real and what is fake. Yes.
I think people are waking up. The people that weren't awake.
Yeah.
And I really hate being like, wake up. Because of this whole like woke thing. Like people hate this buzzword of like woke. I hate
But
being
even
like,
the wokeness of it all.
Wake up. But literally wake up.
Yeah. But also the wokeness of it all has now switched. Now we have Republicans and conservatives talking about how important it is to maintain free speech and how and like saying
one
how
of the first executive orders was we're going to make sure we got free speech.
Right. And I think
getting back to it.
All in all, at some point we have to reconcile and come to terms with what America really is.
Oh, yeah.
And what America was really built for.
I want to get into that. What America was really built on.
Yes.
Okay.
On and for.
Right. I think that I want to leave this topic, but I want to say this political figure, this political podcaster, spent a lot of his career, getting back to the free speech of it all on that topic, spent a lot of his career dismissing and negating the experiences of a lot of marginalized individuals and communities.
Yes.
We can get into all the different examples. I'm sure all of us
We've all seen the clips.
We've all seen it. But my bottom line is like people are using him as a martyr for free speech, and then want people fired for using or reprimanded for using his own words, citing his rhetoric. Right. We have a Fox News host get on live television and say homeless people that don't want to take help, whatever that help is, should be involuntarily euthanized.
Mind you, he said that in the morning.
In the morning. We didn't even drink our morning cup of coffee.
People are going to school. Kids are going to school.
And late night, we have Jimmy Kimmel discuss and bring up the hypocrisy of it all. And he is thrown off the air.
Ripped.
And pointing out that on this past Wednesday, the FCC chair, Brendan Carr, he went on a podcast.
Yes.
Right?
A conservative podcast.
And said if broadcast companies don't find ways to take action against Kimmel and other shows like it, there's going to be consequences. What kind of consequences are we talking about? Well, for those people that don't know, let me educate some people. There is a merger of companies called Nexstar and Tegna that are currently working towards conjoining and becoming one huge broadcasting network that would obviously hold a huge amount of influence on what we as Americans see, right? Yes. So 2 of the largest local TV stations, owners of many of which are affiliates of CBS, Fox, ABC, right? But the FCC has rules, right?
Yes.
You can't own a certain amount of stations.
39%.
One company can't own more than a certain amount, 39%, right?
Yeah.
So obviously they need the FCC approval,
yes,
right? For this merger, they're going to need an approval from the chair of the SEC for this merger to go through if they want to become this monopoly, which that is the biggest problem.
Yeah.
One of the biggest problems is we are a place built on freaking monopolies.
Yes.
And
in every sector.
The consolidation of wealth is what our true problem is. So we have 2 companies, right, that already, one has like 200 local stations, one has like 60, right? They want to consolidate, but that'd be way too many stations. That'd be way too much to own for one. That'd be a monopoly, like I'm saying. So obviously they need to be in good standing with the FCC. So when the FCC says, hey, don't broadcast this, well, you listen.
Yeah.
You listen and you poll. You tell your affiliates, hey, give this guy the boot. Honestly.
Yeah.
So what is free speech? Is free speech when we can threaten to pull licensing, we can threaten to pull people off the air for a comedian. Jimmy Kimmel is a comedian. It's not even, he doesn't even come on the air saying this is based in fact. This is like,
two things.
What are we
One,
doing?
This is the same conservative party who said like comedians can't make jokes anymore.
Right.
No, the woke media, they can't. You can't even be offensive anymore. You can't even anymore.
Exactly.
But so that's one. Two, can I also just say I'm sorry. The joke was good. He said he's in his 4th stage of grief, construction. It's hilarious.
Listen.
It's great. It's great joke writing. I'm going to be honest with you.
And it's factual.
And it's factual.
It's factual.
How about
pointing
this?
out the hypocrisy is factual,
Here's another layer that I just found out. The FCC chair, probably in that same podcast, I saw a report that he said that Jimmy Kimmel's suspension is a specific part of Project 2025.
Oh, he is the writer. He's one of the main foundational writers of Project 2025.
Yes. You're not pulling the wool over my eyes, buddy.
It's honestly so insane. I was just watching the president take questions from reporters, and one of the questions was his thoughts on cancel culture versus what's the word he used? Like retaliation culture or like punishment culture.
Got it.
And he danced around the topic, but go ahead.
Yeah, I think that when we're having these big, wide-ranging topics, it's hard to think about the human aspect of it all. You talked about your feelings when the news broke of the murder last week, and how I feel is people talk about empathy a lot, right? The clip has been running around of his regarding empathy. So this made me think about my thoughts and feelings on this idea of empathy, right? To some people who I believe don't lead with love or don't see people for people, is that like personally my empathy is not selective, right? Like, nor will I ever allow anyone to cause my empathy to be selective. I think that as a black
you feel bad for this situation.
Of course, murder is wrong. Period. Full stop.
Yeah.
That should go without saying. The fact that even has
to be
said
that even has to be
is
said
just crazy to me.
Yeah.
Yes, murder is wrong. But like when I think about my own personal experience and the way that I walk through the world, I think that as a black American, empathy is something that's like born into me. It is innate for me, I believe. Even though I was born into a society that devalues people who look like me, oppresses people that look like me, I am a part of a marginalized community, a couple. Even though black Americans are born into this society in America and in other countries, but let me talk about America, we still have this like constant ability to give compassion and to have resiliency extended upon others that is rarely extended upon us, right? So like I have the capacity as a human to feel compassion for someone that is not selective. I think murder is wrong. I sure as heck don't believe anything that this man stood for. But like, I'm also not going to sit up here and be like, you know, I don't have empathy for someone being murdered because I don't want to turn into someone that I disagree with, right?
Yeah.
I think it is also very true that in my community, black people, LGBTQ people, whatever, are killed on video like dogs. And people do not extend that same empathy towards us. There is always, what did she do? What did he do? What happened? Were they aggressive? Did they, you know, all the things. It's always but what did they do? Right?
Oh, yeah.
That, as we see here, is not extended upon everyone else. But regardless of that fact, that will not change who I am, right? And who I choose to be and how I choose to show up. How I choose to show up. But what I also want to say that I think is very important is people keep referring to this as like a political, he was killed because of difference in political opinions, right? Because of the way that he, you know, his political stance. I don't think that's true. I think that when you call for the stoning of gay people, when you say that black women don't have the mental capacity to be taken seriously, even though we are the most educated demographic in America, mind you, and, you know, sometimes people have to die for the Second Amendment so that everyone can keep their guns. To me, those are not political opinions, right? Political opinions to me is like, do you believe in more taxes or no? Right? So when you believe in like the continuing oppression of marginalized groups, and you believe that people should not have the same rights as you, or this idea of eugenics, and don't believe that people have the capacity to be intelligent because of the way that they look, that is no longer political.
It's not
Yes.
beliefs as much as it is privilege.
Correct. And yes, he propped up a specific party and was backed by a specific party, but many of his views were not political in nature. Therefore, when we lower the flags at half-staff, I'm like, this person was, albeit...
When we make a holiday for him
Well, yeah,
coming
that-
up in October, celebrating
albeit,
him.
I completely understand what happened was tragic and horrific, and like,
Yeah.
no one, people witnessed that. People like had to see that close up, whatever. That is terrible, and I can fully admit that. But also, is that same compassion sent
Extended.
to the kids at Annunciation in Minnesota who just watched their classmates be shot in church? Do we extend this same? Are we making holidays? Are we lowering the flags at half-staff? Are we doing any of these things? Are we having conversation besides thoughts and prayers? Are we doing that over any other group that is hurt? So I don't think that empathy should be selective, and that is why. And I also think that we should call out what things are, and I don't believe that the belief in the removing of people's rights or the propping up of white supremacy is the same as having a different opinion on taxes. I don't.
Absolutely.
That's just me.
And I just want to say, because you said something about that, but like if he had been a black man killed, the media coverage, if there was any, would have been examining his life choices relative to his death.
Of
which
course.
we're doing.
Yes.
For him. That's what we're doing.
Right. Which he himself also did.
His words and his actions, if he was a black man, would have been held as contributors to his death. And that is what a large part of America was pointing out, I guess.
When people pass away, we eulogize them in a way that is reflective of the people that they were.
People that they were. Yeah.
No one is clipping up things that he said.
The way you died is not defined by the way that you lived.
Hello.
By the way that you lived.
You know who said that? You know that
led.
pastor is right in Virginia. I'm gonna listen to his sermon this weekend. Anyway.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So you bring up a really good point. And like when people die, because of the First Amendment right that we all have to free speech, regardless of how mean you want to be, how nice you want to be, how empathetic you want to be, how nasty you want to be. And as someone, this man, he exercised this right every single day. His entire platform, every dollar that he made,
and he had every right
to. Yes, is based on this. And even though some of the things he said were vile and disgusting and like flat out untrue, we cannot eulogize. I don't believe that it's right to eulogize him in a way that we're just saying, well, all he did was invite people to have a strong debate. It's like saying that again. I'll say it again. Saying that black women don't have the mental capacity to be taken seriously is not a debate topic. That is dangerous.
Just dismissing their leadership, their education, their experience.
It's dangerous rhetoric
with all of it.
And the fact that
dismissing, negating that, counting that as nothing.
And the fact that people can't hold two thoughts at once is really what's getting to me. That's what's like really blowing my mind. That is what I'm talking about in therapy, is why can't we have empathy and also be truthful?
We can object gun violence. We can object political violence. We can object all of this.
Yes.
While also objecting speech that is harmful, that is harmful to marginalized communities, to,
Correct.
like we can. And that is a point that really got to me, is like people are using him to spin this speech of like the freaking Pam Bondi is like, we're going to go after hate speech.
Yeah.
He himself you can find quotes of him saying hate speech is a real thing, but it's not illegal.
It's not.
And they're weaponizing his exact words. Like, this is not actually the legacy that he would want.
I don't believe so.
He didn't believe that hate speech and free speech were different things.
Right. So why should
I don't know if that makes sense.
No, it does. It does. I just think that like this has all been so frustrating, and I just feel like some people are so dense in their brains that like I don't even know if it's that people can't hold two thoughts. I just don't think that they want to. I think it's a lot more of that. It's a lot easier to just like go with a surface level answer of the people around you and like have these feelings. And can I also just say one last thing about this topic? It bothers me, and I'm not the most devoutly religious person in the world by any means. I do not think it's fair when people hide behind religion to justify the way that someone lived. Because even if you said you believed in God, even if you quoted scripture, even if you talked about God, that does not mean that you served God. And I just want to say, me and that man did not serve the same God. My God leads with love. My God loves everyone. My God says, love thy neighbor. My God says, come as you are. My God does not promote the spewing of hate and vitriol to my fellow person. So I don't think it's fair that people, especially when I'm seeing like religious people, whether it's people I know or people I don't know, saying this man was killed for like preaching the gospel. I'm like, wait.
Are we reading the same?
Are we serving the same God?
Right.
Anyway, I just thought it was important to say because I don't think that the ideologies that he promoted were of someone who like led his life in a godly way.
Yeah. And you're entitled to that because
yeah.
Free speech, baby. If we're on this topic of like what we just all lived through in this past 2 weeks, one point I'd like to make is talking about like political violence, like left-wing politicians and right-wing politicians, but in general, just like people of that ideology. It feels left-wing is very much quick to condemn violence. You know, you had Biden come on national television and denounce the assassination attempts of Trump. Yeah. But then we go to right-wing narratives or politicians, and it's, well, who is it against? Is it against the left? Because they're either going to ignore it or they're going to make fun of it. They're going to blame the victims. They're going to, I don't know, Donald J. Trump's son, Donald J. Trump Jr., is going to joke about Nancy Pelosi's husband getting attacked with a hammer and post that his Halloween costume is a pair of tighty whities and a hammer. Like, making fun of it, right? Or we're going to raise funds for the criminals, the January 6th offenders. We're going to rioters. We're going to raise funds for them for attacking the Capitol. We're going to let them out of jail. We're going to, first day of our presidency, let them out of jail because they're not promoting political violence, right? No. They're not promoting violence at all. No way.
Storming the Capitol?
Right.
That's the bar?
What? No. And then we talked about this, but if it's against the right, it's, you know, lower the flags at half-staff, and call attention to the entire left side of politics and blame the entire thing on them, even without knowing the demographic of the shooter. You know what I mean? Like, it's very much a double standard.
Divisiveness is so exhausting. There, I said it. It's so exhausting.
It is. It is.
I just want to say, I don't know if you feel the same way. I truly don't believe the majority of this country agrees with what's going on. I don't care what a poll says. I don't think it's true. I don't either. Like,
and I think we can get into that when we talk about, you know, the whole algorithm of it all and like bots. I want to get to that and like how much of what we're seeing.
For another episode? I feel like this is good content. I almost want to record another episode like Sunday.
I was gonna say that too. I'm like, this should be 2 different episodes.
I agree.
But I don't know. Let's just keep it going.
No, I think we should do two different episodes.
What?
I think the next one we talk about algorithms and privacy and authenticity.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
That's what I was going to say to you. I'm like, I think it's 2 different conversations for sure.
I agree.
But
we say part 1. And then they get people waiting for part 2.
I love that.
Episode 5, part 1.
So at the end of this, we're going to be like, stay tuned
for part 2. So right now, I think it's important to mention that America was founded on political violence. And anyone who tells lying. Anyone who tells you different is lying.
We are a nation shaped by political violence and violence in general.
Yes.
We're founded on colonization, slavery, Jim Crow, the war on terror, mass incarcerations, drone strikes, even recently buzzword
Japanese internment camps.
Oh my God! Like political assassinations, MLK, the Kennedys, freaking Abraham Lincoln. Like, let's not erase reality. Let's be very clear. Violence.
The leaders of the Black Panther Party. Sorry, go ahead. Lots of people have
violence doesn't belong. To me, this is my opinion. Violence doesn't belong in politics or the U.S. in general, but like the narrative is, you know, that's my opinion. But the narrative is it doesn't belong in the U.S. when it threatens whiteness or power.
Yeah.
But it's normalized when we target Black, brown, indigenous,
Yes.
Arab immigrant communities.
Yes.
It's normalized. That's just the way things work.
They brought it on. When Black people are killed, the conversation is never, ever, he was a son. He was a husband. He was someone's
What irritates
child.
me about that,
He was someone's dad.
is like, who cares if he wasn't? He was a human.
Right.
And like, I want to get into like the death penalty at some point. Like,
Right.
we are not God. We don't get to decide what someone's worth is and when they die and what kind of death they deserve.
But
and
here's
like,
the thing. In America, historically, we have decided how much people are worth. That is our thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like we put value at one point, dollar signs, at what point fractions as to someone's value and worth. The issue is why I think that we cannot progress as a society is because we do not acknowledge our past.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
Once we actually acknowledge the real things that have happened in this country, then we could accept it, fix it, and move on. But until then, this is where we're going to be at. We're going to be in this constant state of divisiveness.
I think that people wonder why, the things that I post or like what I stand for, like why I make things a lot about race. And the truth of the matter is like my ancestors made it all about race. We decided that a group of people deserved
You ate that.
enslavement. They deserved enslavement because of the color of their skin.
Yeah.
And we made them less valuable and less worthy of humanity.
Yeah.
Murdered, we raped, we mangled, we
oppressed
for years. Yeah. Because of the color of their skin.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then we built an entire culture around propaganda and lies to validate why we did that, to validate why we enslaved people.
Still are.
Yeah. And so while America was and has been built on the backs of the enslaved, and this like ties into immigration, conversation, we have been sold, and even Black people, you tell yourself what you need to tell yourself to go to sleep at night and close your eyes. You've been sold a lie that the dangerous, violent Black man is the reason that you're not further along in life.
Right. Wow.
It's not the billionaires. It's not the billionaires consolidating wealth. They aren't the problem.
Right.
It's not the people in power who are seeking to further this agenda, this historical agenda, through legislature that my ancestors were not able to impose through anything other than force, slavery.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. And the sooner we realize this, the sooner we're on the same page, the sooner that we can progress. But that we can't happen unless, you gotta see. We have to see each other.
Yeah, like we have to realize we're hiding behind this culture war that we are now peddling forward and carrying on. Everyone wins when we have fewer people in crisis, when we have an economy that grows, people feel safer, people are free to create businesses, be creative, buy back into the economy instead of figuring out where their next meal comes from. And we are not, and I should say we should not be each other's enemies. We see white supremacy and, shall I say, slavery within our prison systems.
Sure.
Rearing its head in the policies that are now being passed. And so until, like you're saying, until we deal with those feelings, the lies that are embedded so deeply into our culture, we will always be pulled back into it.
Yeah.
And to quote Malcolm X, the guilt complex of the American white man is so profound that when you analyze the true condition of the Black man in America, instead of the white man eliminating the cause of that condition, he tries to cover it up by accusing his accusers of teaching hate. But in actuality, they are just exposing him for being responsible for what exists.
Absolutely. I mean, very well said, Mr. Malcolm. But I also want to say, and I think what goes along with that, I have a quote too, but a little less profound. But one, the people who are running this capitalist society, they make money when we are fighting, right? Yeah. When we're
at war
divisive
with each other
as a country. Yeah. And that's why when we're in war, our economy is up. Our economy, we are killing it. Like conflict creates money and revenue. That's why these people like conflict, That's why they want us to be feuding. Jay-Z said, nobody wins when the family feuds.
Lauryn Hill said, how are you going to win when you ain't right within?
Hello.
We need to check ourselves.
Tell you you're a hard rock even when you're a gem? Something like that? I think that's the next line. Anyway, taking it out. But yes, I think that we are completely on the same page. And it is our hope that we can continue to progress as a society and like find ways to bring ourselves together. And that is foreshadowing to what the final question of the day is going to be of this episode. But with all that being said, I know we just talked a lot. We had a lot to catch up on. We still have a lot to catch up on. But I wanted to take some time because I think balance is important. I want to take some time to play a game. A quick game. I haven't played a game since F1.
I know.
So are you
What do you got for
ready?
me? Because I didn't know we were going to do this.
All right. I have a game and it's going to be hilarious. It's called Joy or Annoy. So I'm going to give you a scenario, social scenario. And you're going to tell me if it gives you joy or if it annoys you.
Okay.
Okay? First, when people clap in the airplane when you land.
That's a pet peeve. Annoyance.
Right. That's what I figured. Same.
Super annoyed by that.
Very annoyed. And I actually asked my mom this yesterday, and she was like, but like, what if it was like a really rough ride, a really turbulent ride, and you guys finally get onto land, and then people clap? I was like, still.
Let's go.
Kiss the ground when you walk to the gate. Because, all right, agreed. I thought this one was funny. People who walk slightly faster than you on the sidewalk. Like, you're just like walking down the street, you're kind of in the same way, and then that person just starts walking faster.
Like, are you with the person?
No.
Someone behind you?
Yeah.
I have mixed feelings because I'm a very fast walker. And like,
I'm not.
Catch me on a bad day and I'm like, you're pissing me off if you're walking too slow. But I just feel like people don't have social cues. Like, there's a way to go about it correctly. Like, don't piss me off.
New York
by,
changed
like, coming
me.
up on me. Like,
yeah. New York changed me in a lot of ways.
So I feel like more annoying.
Yeah.
More annoying.
I was a slow walker, and then I became a very fast walker living in New York, and like understanding the social cues of like what side you're supposed to be on, escalator, what side, like just doing the whole thing. And now that I'm back in DC,
red, right, returning from sea. That's boater 101. Red,
Exactly.
right, returning from sea.
Yes.
When you're on the water,
right.
There's channels where there's a red sign and a green sign, and the thing to remember is red, right, returning from sea. So like, stay to your right.
Yes, education.
Always.
Yes, lagoon. Great. Okay, next. When your food comes out way faster than everyone else at the restaurant.
I'm Joy. We're eating. I'm eating, baby.
No, I love
Sorry.
that.
I don't know.
But I also feel like if that happens sometimes, I'm like, is it fresh?
Like, was it pre-made just sitting there? And like, that's a good point.
But, okay. TV shows dropping weekly episodes versus full season dumps.
Ugh.
Weekly episodes feel so vintage.
Yeah, but like, if you're really keeping up with it, like, that's so annoying when you finish that and you're like, I just want to binge it.
Yeah. So what do you got?
Annoying.
People who shush in movie theaters.
Annoying. Let me live.
I kind of love it.
Let me live.
Yeah, I'm gonna be loud, but like when someone else is loud unnecessarily, and
what if somebody shushes you?
Shh. No one's gonna shush me. I ain't getting shushed out here. Anyway, okay. When your Uber driver has mints or water.
Joy, that's amazing. Love that. You don't like that?
No, it kind of freaks me out.
Why?
Because like, what's in that water?
I'm not. I didn't say I was accepting it. I'm like, that's very thoughtful. That's very thoughtful.
No, very thoughtful.
I might not be.
I'm not accepting candy from strangers.
Yeah.
But I mean, I guess I was in an Uber the other day, and he did have water, but the water was like busted, like it was like dented, and I was like, well, it's not giving what you wanted it to give. Last one. The smell of gasoline at the pump.
I'm going to say joy.
Whoa. Whoa.
Low-key love the smell of gas.
You're one of those.
Like boat gas, but I won't do it. Like, I know it's so bad. Like, so bad for you. Like, you could literally just die immediately from huffing gasoline.
Yeah.
So I don't go out of my way to do it, but like, specifically boat gas. Man, I don't know. There's nothing like it.
Wow, that's so interesting. Okay.
Degenerate. Wow. Fucking degenerate.
That's insane. Okay. You don't have any off the top of your head, right?
No.
Do you understand the game now?
Yeah.
Last one. Dogs in strollers.
Oh my God. I don't want to be judgmental. Like, do you, girlfriend? But I might be judging a little bit.
Dogs were meant to walk.
I don't want to say annoyed or joy. I don't want to say
if the dog is able-bodied, it should be walking. If the dog is like on its last days, of course put it in the stroller. If the dog is injured, put it in the stroller. Besides that, let that thing walk. It is not a child.
I get it.
When Kona is like
I agree.
20 and can barely walk, and I'm just like probably just keeping her alive even though I probably shouldn't be, and I put her in the stroller, fine.
Yeah.
But at 7 and loose out here, she shouldn't be in a stroller.
Agreed.
Okay, great. That was my game.
I loved it.
Thank you. Cue applause. Do you want to get into final thoughts and our question for the week.
Yeah. My final thoughts are as always as follows, is like we need to lead with love. We need to think a lot more before we speak, lead with empathy, talk to one another. I think that we need to learn to emotionally regulate ourselves. I think that a lot of the issues that we see, I think, could be solved from learning to emotionally regulate ourselves and learn how we can disagree without dehumanizing each other.
Of course.
Learn how to take accountability without seeing it as an attack.
Mm-hmm.
Learn that conflict with each other or disagreements with each other does not mean or does not need to lead to violence.
Yes, absolutely not.
Again, going back to it starts at home.
Yeah.
And have conversations with each other. I think my final thought is like, I want to leave with a challenge for everyone. And you and me too, is like, let's reach out to somebody that we wouldn't reach out to normally. Yeah. Let's get to know our neighbors, because you are much less likely to hate somebody or not, or dislike somebody when you actually get to know them. Like, you're much less likely to not like someone and judge them off rip if you actually know them and get to know them and know what they're all about and discuss how you feel about things. And so I think that we should all take a week to work on doing that.
Repeat that one more time, because that's a gem. It's a gem.
I don't even know what I said.
About your neighbor.
Get to know your neighbor. You're less likely to hate someone that you know, that you get to know. You're less likely to judge them immediately. Actually get to know them and know what they're about and know what their standings are and why they believe this and why they go so hard for this, and you know, more of that. More of being human and getting in touch with our humanity and do a random act of kindness.
Do a random act of kindness. Hell yeah.
Yeah. Hold the door open for someone.
Yes.
Tell someone you like their shirt. Tell someone, you know.
Can I tell you
anything?
Sorry, last thing. You know, I've been running more.
Yeah. Oh, I've been too. You inspired me.
Really?
I've been doing intervals running.
How's that going?
That's my joy of the week. It's been good. Like, I actually feel like I'm at a point of like, I hate running. I'm actually at a point of like, I'm like, okay, I'm ready to run. Like, I've been lifting for so long. I guess my body is like, let's start being,
I love that.
Let's be cardio girlies. Yeah. But like, you inspired me.
Thank you. I'm feeling good and leaning into my cardio girl journey. But what I wanted to say is, I've been thinking about, as I run, starting to give people compliments. I don't know. Yeah. Being like, hey, love your hat. You know, I don't know. Maybe I'll get some Meta Ray-Ban glasses and start doing it. It makes the person feel good. It makes you feel good. It does. Do it. Try it out. Promise you won't regret it. All right. Great episode. Come back for part 2. Love you guys. Be safe. Bye. Thank you for tuning in. Love you.